historic, and more importantly, beautiful Florence, Italy. It is considered the birthplace of the Renaissance. The art, the architecture, amazing. And today we come to you from the Nelson Mandela Forum, getting ready for World League Volleyball. It's the final between Brazil and the United States. Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Marlowe with two-time Olympian Kevin Barnett. Sold-out crowd, 9,000 strong. Let's get right to the starting lineups. First for the United States and head coach John Speraw.
It has been a youth movement for the United States. Guys to watch. Taylor Sander at the outside hitting position has been remarkable. He's straight out of college. Micah Christensen at the center position. Still a year of college left to go. And then they're going to face off with a Brazilian team, which is also in transition for head coach Bernardo Rezende. His son's still the setter, but the outside hitters, lots of changes and a little bit of youth movement for the Brazilian side. They didn't have the best part of pool play, but they have brought it here in the final round.
It is the first time that the United States and Brazil have ever met in a World League final. Brazil has been the dominant team in World League. They've won 9 gold medals. The United States just won back in 2008.
That's right. That was a critical victory for the Americans. It really set the stage for their gold medal run in China.
All right, we're set. It will be the best 3 out of 5 sets. The first 4 played to 25. Fifth and final set if necessary to 15. Americans in red on the attack. And the first shot, the big spike zoomed out of bounds for the United States. Point Brazil. What to look for early, Kevin?
Look for the Americans. How does their passing hold up? That's been the one weakness. They have occasionally gotten beat by the opponent serving and been destabilized in their offense. If they can pass the ball, this American side has been nothing short of amazing.
Christensen on the back set, and that is Matt Anderson, a 6'9" outside hitter. Grew up in West Seneca, New York, and he has been outstanding.
Yeah, and he's moved to the opposite position. This shot right here is something we didn't see early on. This wrist away down the line. He picked it up about 3 weeks into the position. Matt Anderson, a world-class outside hitter, has played like a world-class opposite, top 5 in the world in this tournament.
Here is Max Holt, 6'9" middle blocker, who has a tremendous serve when it's on. That's an easy one. The back set, right side, and the big blast. They're saying it's down. You're going to see a lot of Murillo. He's 6'2½", jumping jack on the back set.
Yeah, he's a little guy, but he plays much bigger. You talk about guys who play above their size. Murillo, he has become the heart and soul of this team, as Jiba, world's best player for many, many seasons, has gone away.
The big slam on the left side. This is the new star for the United States. His name is Taylor Sander, a 6'4" outside from Huntington Beach, and he can rip it.
Yeah, this is also another undersized player. He's come straight out of college. The debut he's had internationally, nearly unprecedented.
Micah Christensen, just 21 years old. He's the setter. He's got a big serve, and he pounds it. Good pass by Brazil. On the attack, the tip, popped up. Set left, Sander blocked. Americans keep it alive. First set, 2-2, into the middle. Nice dig, back line. And the roof. Brazil is there. They've never been known as a great blocking team, but they've incorporated some bigger players these days and getting better at it.
Yeah, they've gotten a little more physical. Satkamp at 6'11", 7 foot has been one of those players, but how about the back set in the middle of that rally? Simply amazing by Bruno Rezende. This kind of creativity that these Italian fans have stuck around to see. Rezende, he's the starting setter at Modena, one of the most storied clubs in the Italian league.
Off the top of the block, nice pass by Shoji. Left side blocked. Eric Shoji goes and gets it. On the attack, Brazil, right side, blocked and put away in the middle by Sidao. One of the veterans on this Brazilian team at 32 years old.
Yeah, Brazil has an interesting mix of veteran experience and younger guys, not quite as young as the United States, but they are in a similar transition, kind of between eras of players. Brazil, the most dominant team for more than a decade, but most of those players are gone.
Lucas with the serve. The Americans, okay pass. Left side blocked, played up by the Americans. And the right side blast is good. A Good shot of Bernardinho, the longtime coach of the Brazilian national team.
Good look here at Taylor Sander. One of the things Sander does well, not only is he a big jumper, upwards of 44, 45 inches, but he hits the ball high each time. He has a nice arm swing and contacts the ball over the top of the block.
Serve flies long, so a point for Brazil. The Brazilians in their semifinal swept Italy 3-0. The United States in their semi knocked off Iran, a similar score, 3-0.
I'll tell you what wasn't similar was the 25-11 that Brazil hung on Italy in the first set. And I don't know if Italy was nervous, all the hometown crowd, all the expectations for Italy, who I thought was the best team in this tournament when they had their stars. Now, they lost a bunch of matches late, but they did not play their regular star players, and that is always an issue with this tournament, is how do you manage rest for your star players who have come off a tough club season. The Americans have been at basically full strength the entire year. Teams like Russia, Brazil, and Italy have had their rosters rotating.
A gorgeous set by Micah Christensen leads to the point. Now Brazil on the attack, leading 5-4. And out of the back line, that is Wallace, 6'5", 192, a silver medalist in 2012. This Brazilian team has 6 Olympians, very experienced.
It is an experienced squad, and Wallace is pretty good at that opposite position. I really like the way he plays. It's fast, it's emotional. The only problem is when he goes down, he goes way down, and then they kind of struggle to replace him.
Yeah, usually they bring in the big man, Visotto. We may see him a little bit later. Right side, big blast by Anderson. And Brazil tees off. So good action early. United States and Brazil. Of course, Brazil comes in as the favorite. United States really a surprise team in this World League final.
That they're this good this soon, yes. The talent on the U.S. side, we knew they were going to have a little bit of a transition. We didn't know they'd be this successful early on. But Brazil, world #1. However, whenever they meet the United States in championship circumstances, Chris, it seems like the U.S. owns Brazil. So you know there's a little bit extra riding on this for the Brazilians. The U.S., the 2 times that they've met in the gold medal final against Brazil, the U.S. has been victorious both times.
You saw the United States head coach John Speraw in his 2nd season, took over for Alan Knipe, and by all reports has done a fantastic job. Now serving Matt Anderson, who reportedly can touch 12 feet 3 inches, even higher than Kevin Barnett. He lets one rip.
Way higher than Kevin Barnett.
Murillo tip. Christensen out of the pipe and the put away. Taylor Sander.
U.S. side has been good out of that middle back this entire tournament. They count middle attacks with the middle blocker as well as the pipe attack as their middle offense. Christensen, I like when he's used this. He's used it at a variety of times that has kept the opposing block off balance.
USA coach John Speraw watching his big man Matt Anderson set to serve. High toss, bam! Bruno goes and gets it. Murillo hits high off the top of the block, out of bounds. So Brazil gets another point, and we have come to the technical timeout. This is the World League final between Brazil and the United States. Right now, the Brazilians on top by 2.
It's the Chevy Summer Drive. See your local Chevy dealer.
Huh. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that words really can hurt you?
What?
Jesse, don't go! Jesse, no!
I'm sorry, Daisy, but I'm a loner, and a loner's gotta be alone.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
KFC $5 fill-up. Couple pieces of chicken, gigantic mashed potatoes.
A biscuit and a cookie and a drink. You can eat the cookie first if you want. If you feel that way.
It's your choice. It's amazing.
Every summer, my Nana sends me a check for $5. It's a pain to cash, but when I do, I can buy all of this for $5. I need to write her a thank you letter.
Yeah, you probably should have done that way long ago. Let's chow down.
Spork.
How cool is it that new DiGiorno Design a Pizza Kit lets us create our own pizza?
And use delicious DiGiorno toppings like pepperoni, sausage, and peppers.
And we made it look just like Billy?
I don't see it.
New DiGiorno Designer Pizza Kit lets you create the pizza you want. Thankfully, it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
I'm a painter, and Scotch Blue is my tape.
I am a painter, and Scotch Blue is my tape.
Pro painters count on Scotch Blue. Now with advanced Edge-Lock paint line protector for even sharper paint lines.
I am a painter, and Scotch Blue is my tape.
Scotch Blue Painter's Tape.
Meat sticks? Yep. Nope. Uh-huh. Ha. Oh. Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Uh-huh. Snap into a party. Snap into a Slim Jim. Meat sticks? Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh. Yeah! Oh, yeah! Oh. Oh, yeah! Snap into a tummy party. Snap into a Slim Jim.
This is the year you spend more quality time with your dog. And this is the best time for big savings at Bass Pro Shop's Fall Hunting Classic. Check out our free hunting university this weekend, plus all the latest gear at the season's lowest prices.
Italy at the Nelson Mandela Forum. I'm Chris Marlowe with two-time Olympian Kevin Barnett. World League Volleyball final between Brazil and the United States. The Brazilians wearing yellow, the Americans in red, white, and blue. A good first set, Brazil leading 8-6. Trends early for either team.
I like the way they're both playing. I think they're both playing with a lot of confidence, and these teams coming in here, Brazil did not have a good intercontinental round, nearly did not make it out of the pool play part of this tournament. For the United States, they struggled a bit at the end. They opened up 7-0, but then they suffered a loss to Bulgaria, which they should not have had. Bulgaria was a terrible team this year. Then they went on the road, had tough matches against Russia and Serbia. But the United States has brought back some of their best volleyball, and I think these two teams have done a terrific job of peaking at the right moment in this tournament when you arrive at World League Finals.
In the Intercontinental round, the United States went 9-3 in their pool, but Brazil just 6-6.
Yeah, and what's funny is Brazil at 6-6 made it out. At 9-3, the Americans had to win their last match, a championship atmosphere against Serbia in Serbia, to make it out of their pool, because Bulgaria was so bad in that pool that the other three teams were much tighter at the top.
So the Americans, now the server is Sean Rooney, 6'10" outside hitter from Wheaton, Illinois. Set left, Murillo pounds it, dug up, one-hand spear job, Anderson. And the swing by Sander out of bounds.
Sean Rooney in there serving that ball. He has taken up the role at that other outside hitting position, because Reed Pretty went down in the second match of this tournament of this season with a blown ACL. The veteran, the Olympic gold medalist, he is out for, at this point it appears, at least a year. He expects to come back. We'll see if Reed Pretty is able to come back.
Micah Christensen, he might be the biggest surprise for the United States team this year. Grew up in Honolulu. He's got one more year at USC as a setter. He's going to be a senior in college, and he's starting for the USA national team and leading them.
I think he was a huge surprise last year when he stepped into the gym, and he was starting at the end of the year for the World Championship event at the end of the year. And now I would put Taylor Sander right up there with him. Yes, he was player of the year in the NCAA, a fantastic achievement, but the level in the NCAA is nowhere near this level, and Taylor Sander has stepped up his game in all phases: blocking, passing, serving, obviously the hitting, but he has done so well so quickly at the international level. That, to me, has been the biggest surprise of this tournament for this young team.
First set, Brazil leading the United States, but it is now 11-10 as the Americans pull to within one. It's a big jump going from collegiate to international, isn't it?
It is, mainly the speed of the game and also the size of the players. Neither of those two things have bothered Taylor Sander one bit.
Here's Micah Christensen. Pass is bad. They set left. Off the top of the block goes Lucarelli. Out of the pipe. The bick is blocked. A very experienced Lucas at 28 years old. Silver medalist on that one.
Good reaction by Lucas. Look at the recovery there. A little bit faked out, comes back in and gets those hands up there. There is no substitute for size.
Now Lucas to serve. Back over to Brazil, free ball. Slapping. Bruno, right side, roofed. Matt Anderson, 6'9", stuffaroo.
There's that left side experience. Matt Anderson, outside hitter in his regular career. The only time he has played opposite has been on the national team at the end of last season and the beginning of this. All that experience blocking on the left paying off.
Taylor Sander, the 2014 AVCA National Player of the Year. Once again at BYU. Hammers it. Set left. Doug going to get it? No, can't. Boy, the speed and the power on the outside for both teams, impressive.
The United States over the last 10 years has mimicked Brazil. Brazil sped the game up in a way no one had seen a decade ago. The Americans, they've caught up, and now you have a generation of players who've grown up playing the game at the same speed, even at the collegiate level, and this has been brought from Brazil. This is the evolution of the game, and Brazil now finds himself basically playing themselves.
Anderson takes a rip. It's dug by Wallace in the backcourt. Over to Lucarelli. United States on the attack. Christensen back set. Brazil scrambles, and it's out of bounds. Outside the antenna. USA point.
Brazil has the decided advantage as far as the records with these teams in World League play, but they've never met in a final, and it just seems like in a final the United States has owned Brazil. Watch and see if Brazil gets nervous at all in this match. If that plays in, their desire to dominate the Americans in a final match, which they have been unable to do in matches of importance as of late.
Nice up by the Americans, set left. Now Bruno into the middle, tap. And the put away, finally.
Brazil gets that point, but the United States actually covered tip. Those who have been watching this tournament know John Spraw's team has been awful on tip coverage, positively awful. Here, two guys going down, Sander there. Brazil earns the point, but the Americans make an important step in their defense.
The Brazilians, 9 gold, 5 silver, 4 bronze in World League play. 18 total medals. They got second last year to Russia.
They've been losing these championship matches as of late. They've been getting to the final, but they have not been winning. And it's not just against the Americans. So get a look at Iran here. Iran and the top scorer, Amir Godfor here in the tournament. Iran, best finish for an Asian squad and really coming up in the last few years. You could see them on their way. The Americans are going to get a good look at Iran. A series of 4 matches coming up in the beginning of August in Southern California. An opportunity for both teams to tune up for World Championships.
Incredible story as Brazil sets quick. Sadao bops it. 6-8, 2-15. This is the first set of the World League final between Brazil and the United States. It's been a good one. Back and forth we go.
This is a mistake by Christensen. You can't just take off. You have to have one hand up there. At least one hand be going towards the play.
Bad pass. Rooney. Now Rooney gets it back. Taps it smartly. The old Karch-Karai shot. Keep it in play. Anderson taps. Bruno's on it. Right side. Wallace. Out of bounds. He turned it wide. And the Americans once again back to within 1.
Wallace will take some big cuts. He is not a guy who's going to shoot around a lot, but he is prone to some mistakes, and you could get him into a frustrated mode where he is woefully ineffective.
Sean Rooney, little floater. Bruno out of the middle, and the put away is good. Lucarelli. Of course, the Brazilians, Poles started it back in the 70s, the back row attack, but really the Brazilians, the team, the country that perfected that back row attack. And right there, they get the kill and a timeout. First set, Brazil leads. Stay tuned.
Did you know Heineken Light won the best tasting light beer at the 2013 World Beer Championships? Apparently there are rules about drinking beer in commercials, so I'm drinking it over here. Ah, tastes good. I'm not wearing any pants, by the way.
How do action heroes walk away from movie explosions and never look back? Lobster, that's how.
At Golden Corral, add a North Atlantic lobster tail for just $4.99. Just $4.99 only at Golden Corral.
So we're all set?
Yep, with Xfinity Internet, your family can use all their devices at once. Works anywhere in the house, even the garage.
Max, what's going on?
We're doing a tech startup. We're going public!
The fastest in-home Wi-Fi for your entire family, only from Xfinity.
The fight to return to the top starts in America. Manchester United takes on Europe's best in the International Champions Cup. Inter Milan, Manchester United. Tomorrow at 7 on NBCSN. And on August 16th, the Premier League returns to NBC.
Welcome to football weekend at Hotel DuPont.
It is Fox Sports Live. I'm Jamie Stan. Incredible.
I told them they couldn't watch their shows because you and I'd be watching the game.
No, Hotel DuPont encourages guests to watch TV on their schedule, and we can DVR 6 shows at once and store up to 1,000. Guests are well treated at Hotel DuPont.
Why is he doing that?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Get Contour from Cox for as low as $15 more per month and enjoy personalized show recommendations. Plus, record any 6 shows at once and store 1,000.
To those who still find the taste of 5-Hour Energy a little strong, don't miss the 5-Hour Energy $100,000 Yummification Contest. Mix 5-Hour Energy with your favorite beverage. Yummification. Name it. Shoot it. Send us the video. Yummification. You could win a share of $100,000.
For rules and requirements, go to 5hourYummification.com.
The 5-Hour Energy Yummification Contest.
It's delicious.
Breaking news update for birth control users. It has been reported that an agreement has been reached to settle lawsuits filed on behalf of women who claim they were seriously injured by Yaz birth control pills. Injuries include lung and leg blood clots, stroke, and even death. If you have used Yaz, Yasmin, B-Yaz, or Ocella and have been injured, time to file your claim is running out. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation.
Call 1-800-940-5414.
Welcome back to the Nelson Mandela Forum in Florence, Italy. Brazil taking on the United States in World League Volleyball. I'm Chris Marlowe with Kevin Barnett. The Americans in red, white, and blue. The Brazilians in green and yellow. Brazil has held a constant 1 or 2 point lead, playing just at a little higher level than the Americans at the moment. Been tight action, though.
Yeah, but it hasn't looked like Brazil is in control of the match. I've seen both teams playing at a high level, neither one really able to establish a flowing momentum over the opponent.
Set left, it's tapped, it's popped up by Anderson. Christensen sets left, and it's off the block, and Brazil keeps it alive. Nice play. Christensen sets left, Sander rockets it off the touch and out of bounds. So there is the future of American volleyball. Micah Christensen at 21 years old, setting left to Taylor Sander, who bops it home.
The future and the now for these two guys, like the high flat from Taylor Sander.
Barnett says Sander jumps 45. He says he jumps 42 or 43. Suffice it to say, one of the highest jumpers the United States has ever had. As Bruno sets the back set, it's blocked. And off the hands, out of bounds. A nice shot by Wallace.
Wallace collects this kill on the left, but I think if you're John Sproul and the Americans, you need to focus on Lucarelli, number 10, right at the bottom of your screen there in coverage. He's the bellwether for Brazil. If Lucarelli starts to go off, some of the other guys will collect their kills, but if you could shut Lucarelli down, you really put a hole in Brazil.
17-16, Brazil by 1. And once again, it is Sander. If you're wondering what Karch Karai jumped in his prime in the 80s, it was 40 inches. So Sander can go higher than Karai. He's also a little taller than Karai. Not as good as Karch yet, but maybe down the line, who knows? Indoor.
Yet. That's the key. Yet. His debut, nothing short of remarkable. We'll see where this kid could go.
Nice pass by Brazil. And bopping is Lucarelli.
Lucarelli saying that he feels like their team is carrying the country after the World Cup of Soccer debacle in the semifinals. He feels like volleyball, the second most popular sport in Brazil. This team really needs to carry the mantle and maybe try and salvage some personal worth for the Brazilian people.
Into the middle and a touch. And the Americans get a point.
The self-esteem of Brazil, an entire country riding on your shoulders. That's not any weight at all, is it?
David Lee, how reliable is he?
Right through the fingertips there. David Lee getting the touch, and David Lee has been a rock for this side, playing perhaps his best volleyball since 2008.
Two-time Olympian. Lucarelli off the hands again. So Lucarelli, the hot man now for Brazil, and Bruno sensing it, setting him a lot. Bruno, the setter, is the son of the coach, Bernardinho. And he knows where to go, ride a hot hitter. And now Bernardinho wants to sub. He's going to bring in 6'11" Visotto to block for Wallace.
Leandro Visotto a couple of years ago appeared like he might own that spot at opposite, but he's lost it to the faster, more dynamic Wallace.
Now it's the double sub, so Rafael will serve it. He's 6'2", 180. A little motor man in the backcourt. Christensen, back set, beautiful. Brazil, nice block. Bump left, on the money, high tip. Now Rafael shoots it left. Americans with a three-man block. Christensen out of the pipe, and the tap is beautifully placed.
Taylor Sander, great vision here. He handled the ball too, and he got into his attack pattern right away, identified the fact that no one was available in area 2. Beautiful vision. These are the kinds of things that rookies don't do, and we see time and again from Sander this year.
Now David Lee hails from Alpine, California, joined the team in 2003 as Sedao pops the middle. And the Brazilians back on top, 20-19.
David Lee joined this team back in 2003. He did not make the 04 squad for Athens, but he did make his first Olympic team in China. And those that remember the semifinal against Russia, a 5-set thriller, David Lee with 3 of the last 4 points. He is perhaps the best pure read blocker the United States has ever seen.
Lucarelli with the big serve. It's long. So all tied up at 20. Remember, the first 4 sets played to 25, win by 2. There is no cap. So the Americans now will serve it. USA with 3 Olympic gold medals, 84, 88, back-to-back. And then in 2008, in London, the Americans got 5th. So they are retooling here as Anderson wraps it. Look at that pass. Incredible pass by Brazil. The serve going 80, 90 miles an hour, handled expertly.
So much of the men's game comes down to service reception, your ability to handle the ball to the point where you can stay in your offense, stay in system, and make the middle a weapon. It's okay to get pushed to the left or to the right and still set the middle into that gap. I really like when setters utilize the middle into the gap areas along the net.
Sedao, great pass, Shoji. Anderson with the hammer. So Matt Anderson, who played for Mark Pavlik at Penn State and won a national championship there, boys, he turned out to be a big-time hitter.
Here, wrist away again. Something Anderson didn't do early in this tournament. You knew he had it. He tends to be sort of a straight-ahead guy on the left. Now he's adding a little bit of angle to it at the point of attack.
Now, Kavika Shoji checks in from Honolulu, Hawaii. He's the backup setter, but plays a little defense too. Of course, you may know his dad, Dave Shoji, a renowned college coach who has won 4 national championships as the coach of University of Hawaii. Kavika. And the miss.
Tough one there. Kavika has been effective as a serving sub. He has both a good jump float as well as a jump serve, and he has played with teams with those 2 different serves at times throughout this tournament.
So Brazil once again subbing, so the double sub goes out. Wallace back in with Bruno.
I like the communication there. I like the opposite talking to the other opposite, telling them about what's happening on the floor. That's a veteran move.
Limited substitutions in international volleyball.
Yeah, this isn't NCAA collegiate women.
Over the top, Sander. It's incredible how easily he flies through the air. You watch him on replay, and he is just gliding.
Yeah, dynamic is the word that I would use if you just wanted one adjective for Taylor Sander and everything that he's doing. Dynamic.
Now Max Holt from Cincinnati, Ohio. Big serve coming. An alternate in 2012. He's worked his way into the starting lineup, and he's not going anywhere for a long time. That serve out of bounds.
This has been the year for Max Holt to really establish himself, and I think he's done a good job early in the year here. His serving way up and down, incredibly dangerous. It needs to be a consistent weapon for the Americans. It's an important weapon. He's done a good job of reining it in and steadying it out late in the tournament. That needs to continue this year.
Christensen back set. Anderson again. So Matt Anderson, who had 32 points in a win over Serbia earlier in the tournament, the 4th best point total. And when he gets it going, he's tough to stop.
Absolutely. He's big, he's athletic, he is also fast. And one of the things I like about him is when he came to this national team, you could tell he had played a lot of volleyball, a very skilled volleyball athlete, not just a tall guy playing outside hitter or opposite.
Great pass and into the middle. That is Lucas. Well, Lucas gets the bop. And the Brazilian fans like that.
Yeah, they like to see a set point opportunity. Again, the creativity of Bruno on display. He's not afraid to go to the middle from nearly anywhere.
So indeed, set point number 1 for the Brazilians. Right side, Sander unloads and ties it up at 24.
Sean Rooney. Perfect pass on a tough play. That ball is on the money. And then Taylor Sander changing the direction of the ball at the point of impact. 2 impressive acts in that one play.
Sander, 17 points in the big win over Iran in the semifinals. Good serve there. Tied at 24, win by 2. Whoa, and they call double contact on Bruno. And a timeout. Don't see that happen much.
No, don't complain. It looks like a jump shot coming out of his hands here. That thing's not clean.
A mismangled ball. Ah! We'll be back.
The Chevy Summer Drive. Get 0% financing for 72 months plus a total value of $4,000 on this 2014 Silverado All-Star Edition and no monthly payments until the end of summer. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
After a long day of doing man stuff, me and the fellas trust new Dial for Men Power Scrub to give us a clean we can be proud of. Over-engineered with unstoppable orange oil and micro scrubbers. It leaves us honkingly gorgeous.
Dial for Men, proudly over-engineered.
Get ready to crack, dunk, dip. Celebrate your love of crab with this year's largest variety, because it's Crab Fest at Red Lobster. Dig into a succulent selection of crab entrees, like new Crab Lovers Trio with sweet snow crab legs, split king crab, and jumbo lump crab over savory shrimp. Crab 3 ways, all on one plate. Or try new jumbo lump crab over wood-grilled salmon. Experience Crab Fest at Red Lobster today, only for a limited time. Come in and see food differently.
The world's most refreshing beer meets a blend of natural citrus flavors, so you can squeeze the most out of summer. New Coors Light Summer Brew.
With 4 races left in the championship, Indy rivals will battle for every point. But Mid-Ohio's elevation changes and terrain could change everything. Honda Indy 200 at Mid-Ohio, Sunday 3 Eastern on NBCSN.
All summer long, the best horses will race to earn a spot in the richest event in horse racing. The Breeders' Cup Challenge Series continues Saturday on NBC.
back at the Nelson Mandela Forum World League Final, Brazil and the United States. Brazil had a set point. Now the Americans have their first set point, and the serve by Sander is out of bounds. One of the 7 times you never want to serve at OB.
Ronaldinho, he's a little more okay with that play than the one previous. Ronaldinho, one of the craziest guys to watch. You could put a camera on him and be entertained the entire match. Forget the actual action on the floor. Also one of the best people you'll meet in the sport. A really fantastic coach and man.
Christensen back set, and Brazil is there.
Sometimes Micah gets into a pattern of using the opposite in every critical situation, or the outside. I want to see him go to the middle more. And you see the up and down emotion of Ronaldinho.
So now Brazil will have its second set point at 26-25. The server is Wallace, silver medalist in London.
Good pass, go to the middle.
Oh, and he misses. Just a reminder, it's win by 2, so 26 all, and the Americans will have it. Big first set in the World League Final. David Lee. Brazil on the attack, blocked but out of bounds. Brazil runs the score to 27-26. Once again, no cap.
Boy, Max Holt flying in. I'd like to see him get stopped, but I love that he was there.
Third set point for Brazil. Lucarelli ready to heat it up. Great pass, Shoji, quick set, and that's down. Holt blasts it.
I like that. Go to the middle. Keep going to the middle. Young setters sometimes forget that the middle is effective, and they just go to the opposite or outside.
Have to be careful, though, when you do it. If it gets blocked, there's not much coverage on that.
No, but again, into that gap, pushed over into that gap. It's a tough matchup, tough decision for the opposing middle.
Matt Anderson at 27 all. Hammers, it's long. Boy, serving such a premium when you're in overtime.
It's hard to balance at any time during the match, but especially at the end, how much risk versus how much reward. The U.S., couple of misses here, including one on a match point.
Now, fourth set point for the Brazilians, 28-27. Great pass, Christensen, back set, Anderson dug. Brazil's got a chance if they can scoop it up. And it's off the block, out of bounds. And that will do it.
No, I think we're going to have a challenge here. The scoreboard says that'll do it, but we're going to have a challenge here. This is the challenge system that has been in play. Now remember, throughout intercontinental play, you could not challenge touches and so on. You could only challenge net contacts, being under, foot faults, those types of things. Now you can challenge a lot of different aspects of the game.
So, what is the challenge? Obviously, the Americans need the challenge to go their way.
Remember, you can challenge anything throughout a rally. And there it is, a net contact on the Brazilian block. I haven't seen it with the forehead before. I'm not sure that's the right form, is it? Eyes closed, face down. Murillo, you're in the net. Don't complain. There's video proof. You did it.
So,
someone show him the video.
So instead of a Brazilian victory, it is going to be 28 all.
Hey, settle down. Look, come look at the video. Come look at the video. That's your player's forehead, Bernardinho.
Well, Bernardinho, who runs hot all the time, extra hot now. Remember, Brazil would have won this set with that play. But the
this
challenge...
is ridiculous. These guys, listen, it's over. That's a net.
Yeah.
And this is what I love about the challenge system. That is irrefutable. No more arguing, no more dramatics, no more histrionics. That was a net. It is U.S. ball. That's the right call. They might not like it, but that is 100% correct.
So the Brazilians with 4 set points. There is the forehead net. Never seen one of those. Maybe never will again. But it is 28 all. First set. gold medal final in World League between the United States and Brazil.
See if Brazil can recover from this. Their emotion is all wrapped up in this play. They need to move forward.
Still dialogue going on between the coaches and the officials. So let's play some ball. Sean Rooney serving. 28-all, win by 2. No cap. Into the middle, and Holt is there. Max with the roof.
Was that Randy Stoklos? That was a cone block right there. One hand.
Now, the second set point for the United States, as Holt showing how it's done. Coaching staff likes it. Now the Americans have a shot. After surviving 4 set points, this second set point for the United States. Into the middle, off Holt, out of bounds. Great hit by Lucas, going high.
I tell you, they showed John Spra his heart has got to be in his throat. He has no control out there. It's the coaches and the fans who get the most nervous. For the players, you're just playing. I've played in these championship circumstances in the Olympic Games, making a comeback, tight sets. You're in the middle of playing. You're not thinking about all the other stuff. Fans, coaches, no control.
Bruno the serve, 29-all. Right side, Anderson popped up by Bruno. Brazil transition, Wallace is blocked. Bruno back set, and it's out of bounds. United States regains the lead. This is one of the great sets you will ever see in international volleyball between two teams that don't like each other very much. Now, the Americans with their third set point. Max Holt ready to heat it up. Off speed, good pass. Out of the back line, and David Lee is there. And this set is over. Action, excitement, and controversy. The Americans win the first set. Whoa!
David Lee just being David Lee.
The Americans fought off 4 set points. And David Lee has the capper. The Americans lead this World League final 1-0. Stay tuned.
Humans. Even when we cross our T's and dot our I's, we still run into problems. Namely, other humans. Which is why at Liberty Mutual Insurance, auto policies come with new car replacement and accident forgiveness if you qualify. See what else comes standard at libertymutual.com. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Responsibility. What's your policy?
She yours?
Yeah. My first. Congratulations.
Your Applewood pulled pork with extra pickles, sir.
The Subway Applewood pulled pork has arrived with that sweet, smoky flavor you love. Subway, eat fresh.
I am a painter, and Scotch Blue is my tape.
I'm a painter, and Scotch Blue is my tape.
Pro painters count on Scotch Blue. Now with advanced Edge-Lock paint line protector for even sharper paint lines.
I am a painter, and Scotch Blue is my tape.
Scotch Blue Painter.
It was the best day. It was the best day. It was the best day. It was the best day because of you.
We make a great pair. Great pair.
Huh?
Progressive and the great outdoors. We make a great pair.
Right, totally.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Uh-huh. Snap into a party. Snap into a Slim Jim.
Beautiful Florence, Italy. One of the most picturesque cities in the world. We welcome you to the Nelson Mandela Forum. Sold out, 9,000 plus strong. First set World League final went to the United States at 31-29. Brazil rebounded to win set number 2, 25-21. We pick up the action, set 3. United States leading by 5 and now make it 6 at 19-13.
John Spra has this group playing so well together. He has really managed to put them all on the same page. It's been about philosophy and culture for John, about process, not about wins. But the wins are starting to show up. I think the wins are showing up a little bit earlier than I expected.
It's been an amazing blend of youth and experience for the United States. down the line, poke deep, pawed up, and inside the block goes Wallace. If you're just joining us, a marvelous first set, 31-29. The Americans were able to make it through 4 set points against them. And on the 3rd set point, they were able to put it away, and there was some controversy. Brazil thought it had won at 29-27, but a late net call on video review overturned that, and play continued. So that first set had everything.
Yeah, Brazil doesn't know it now, but they're going to go back and look at that first set and realize that was the correct call. That challenge well used by John Speraw. Remember, the challenge system is new in the last 2 years, and it is used throughout the Intercontinental round minus the touches at the net. They do add that factor here. You can challenge a touch at the net, and you can challenge any part of a rally. So you may have a rally that goes back and forth across the net. You might have 6, 7 attacks throughout. You can go all the way back to that first attack and say the other team netted. We've seen coaches do that. We've also seen coaches, John Speraw among them, use it as a momentum breaker, use it as a de facto timeout to call for a challenge if they have one left.
Beautiful offense by Brazil. Mario the pass, Bruno the set, and Murillo the hit. Now Eder, 6'7", 222. Never played in the Olympics, but he's played in 3 world championships. Eder Carbonera will serve it. And it's a good one. It's an ace.
And it's on Garrett Mwanga-Tudia, who's in there for Sean Rooney. We've seen Mwanga-Tudia last year for just a few points. This year we've seen him a couple of times, but never for an extended period of time. Here he finds himself in World League Finals. Welcome to the big show, Garrett.
Eder at 20-16. Serves Shoji, he passes it well. And the put away on the left, once again, it is Matt Anderson.
Matt Anderson has had to take on the role of veteran for John Speraw's team here. When he came into this team in 2009, he was following along behind Sean Rooney, kind of his mentor, his example. And now Matt Anderson finds himself in that leadership role along with Sean Rooney, who serves as captain. It has been a incredible journey watching Matt Anderson improve.
David Lee. Boy, his blocking instincts are so good. He's able to move his hands. He sees the play coming before it does. Watch him.
Vision.
Whoa.
Vision. It's all about vision for Dave Lee. He makes these big moves. That's exactly the same move he made to end set number 1 for the Americans. That shift to the right.
Now Taylor Sander with the big serve. Bruno into the middle. And the put away by Sedao. Brazilian coach Bernardinho. Been coaching the men's team since 2001. An outstanding player. Won a silver medal in 1984. Losing to the United States, who won the gold. And then led the Brazilians to the gold in 2004 as a coach. So he's a good one. Shoji, good pass. Left side over the top. And we've got some whistles going on. And they're going to call in the linesman, and a discussion coming up here.
Touch the antenna, player or ball?
Discussion about whether that ball touched the antenna.
The linesman back to his spot.
A reach out there. Is that the ball or is it the hand of the blocker? What's happening on that swing is the question.
Could you review here, Kevin?
Absolutely. This is absolutely reviewable. That looks like the hand of Bruno. That does not look like the ball. Mwanga-Tudia is swinging. That is a net violation by touching the antenna from Brazil.
Well, Brazil on the attack, and Wallace puts it away. Set number 3. Brazil and the United States tied up 1 set apiece. Americans winning the first, 31-29. Brazil the second, 25-21. Now set to serve it is Lucarelli. Ace.
Brazil's doing an excellent job of targeting Mwanga. They are working on the youngster.
Mwanga is in for Sean Rooney as a sub. And that's the key for him. If he can pass, he can stay in the game.
Correct. Rooney brings ball control, veteran experience. Mwanga needs to bring some offense, some blocking, some physicality.
Fantastic set by Christensen. Torquing and twisting at the net. He jacks it back to Anderson, who's got clear field.
Speaking of physicality, get in the way of this one. Woo. Oh! That would have killed somebody if it caught him in the head. Mario, save yourself.
So now the United States will have its first set point at 24-19. Anderson will serve it. Nearly foot faulted off the top of the net. Set left, Murillo against a three-man block. Bruno, Bick, got it. Beautiful set by Bruno. And Wallace destroys it. So 24-20 now. The second set point coming up.
See the threat of the middle right there. That is why Max Holt is ineffective, because Sadao has been used throughout this set.
Now Sadao to serve. On the second set point for the United States, he flies it long. And the Americans win set 3 rather easily, 25-20. This World League final will continue. The United States leading Brazil 2-1.
Now's the time for big savings on the gear you need at the Bass Pro Shops Fall Hunting Classic. And check out the full line of Tracker boats, award-winning customer satisfaction, built for a lifetime. And now backed by a 3-year bow to stern warranty.
Did you know Heineken Light won the best-tasting light beer at the 2013 World Beer Championships? Apparently there are rules about drinking beer in commercials, so I'm drinking it over here. Ah, tastes good. I'm not wearing any pants, by the way.
Formula One on NBC and NBC.
All right, guys, are you ready? Cox game day. Woo! Wow.
Great, what games are on?
Are you kidding? With Contour from Cox and the fastest in-home Wi-Fi, we've got the Oklahoma game, the Florida game, the Louisiana game, and the latest episode of Chopped.
Please open your baskets.
Did you say Chopped?
Yeah, it's leftovers week.
Get peace of mind and add Cox Home Security to your bundle today for as low as $29.99 per month, including free pro install. Call today to get advanced home security technology.
Good Old Tom está pagando en efectivo por su pedacería de oro, monedas viejas, plata y antigüedades pequeñas. Y ahora puede visitar a Good Old Tom en nuestro nuevo local en el sur, en el Spectrum Plaza, Irvington e I-19. Venga hoy a Good Old Tom o llame al 888-8899. El nuevo local de Good Old Tom en el sur, en el Spectrum Plaza, Irvington e I-19. Good Old Tom, donde pagamos en efectivo por su oro.
To those who still find the taste of 5-Hour Energy a little strong, don't miss the 5-Hour Energy $100,000 gamification contest. Mix 5-Hour Energy with your favorite beverage. Gamification. Name it. Shoot it. Send us the video. Gamification. You could win a share of $100,000.
For rules and requirements, go to 5hourgamification.com.
The 5-Hour Energy Gamification Contest.
It's delicious.
August 16th, the Premier League returns to NBC Sports for a brand new season. Every match, every week, every team, all season long. The new season begins Saturday, August 16th on NBC Sports. The Nelson Mandela Forum in Florence, Italy, sold out for the World League final between Brazil and the United States. Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Marlowe, along with two-time indoor Olympian Kevin Barnett. The United States leads this match 2-1 as we begin set number 4. The Americans in red, the Brazilians in green and yellow. And the storyline has been the surprising United States team, a squad that wasn't expected to make it to the World League final with some very young talent playing surprisingly good volleyball.
If you ask the team, they expect to make the World League final all the time. But if you're an outsider looking in and establishing what this team should do this year, the story was the Americans opened 7-0. They get through the Intercontinental round with a 9-3 record. That is already a success. Everything they've done here in the finals is a bonus, and I think they've shown they're ahead of schedule. This is a good young group. John Sprague doing a nice job establishing some veterans with some up-and-coming talent, with the culture we talked about earlier, all those things coming together really to produce a remarkable run here early in year 2 of a 4-year Olympic cycle.
Last year in World League, the Americans finished 12th, but they have added some young guns, particularly number 3, Taylor Sander. They have a new setter in Micah Christensen, and these 2 young kids have performed amazingly.
Don't discount what Matt Anderson has done for this team at the opposite spot. That's a huge hole left by the absence of Clay Stanley, who may yet return. MVP in 2008, considered perhaps the world's best opposite over the last. They want him to reach up, not bring his arm down. When he reaches, he's effective, and he has shown he can go a little off speed at times. He missed that one, but that's an important part of jump serving, is being able to cut the ball.
Big hit by David Lee as Holt gets a breather. He's replaced by the libero Eric Shoji, who has been outstanding today.
Of all the great performances we've talked about, I don't think we've given enough time to Eric Shoji, who in his sophomore campaign, he has performed incredibly, right almost to the level of former libero for Brazil. I think you're going to look at that, Sergio, as the example of what a libero could be. Eric Shoji near that at times.
Over the top, the Americans can get a point right here. Christensen back set, off the hands, out of bounds. Matt Anderson gets the kill. Another pretty back set by Micah Christensen.
The bottom line is this: if you're going to get to World League Finals, if you're going to be on the verge of winning and defeating the #1 team in the world, it's not about one player. You can't win with one player. It's about superlative performances over the last couple of months by a variety of athletes. The American side has that. They have been the most consistent team in this tournament. Brazil in the finals as well. Again, the place they're used to being. But these guys have kind of turned it on, turned it off. They have not played well at times. They have come back and played well enough at times. I think it's hard to come to the final and all of a sudden all that pressure. Are we going to play the way we've played at times poorly and lost matches, or are we going to play the way we played against Italy or against Russia and dominating those teams?
Sander down the line, and the official calling it out. Whoa, there's going to be an argument here. That ball looked like it was clearly in.
Yeah, it does some discussions. That thing is in. Look at this field goal. You should get 3 points for that one. Lucarelli saying, I didn't touch it. Yeah, because you put your hands 3 feet apart.
And they changed the call, so the United States indeed has it. So Sander to serve it, and he rockets it out of bounds. The Brazilians, they've been playing the bridesmaid recently. Second in the Olympics in London to Russia. Second in last year's World League to Russia. And now they trail to the young United States team 2-1 here in set number 4. Chris Marlowe, Kevin Barnett, good one going. 2 of the top teams in the world. You've talked about the Brazilians being ranked #1. Where do you rank the Americans right now?
I think the Americans have put themselves in the top 3, but they still have to prove they can beat Italy, beat Russia, beat Brazil on a regular basis. That's why it's a 12-month rolling calendar for that ranking. I don't think Brazil's the #1 team. I think they're certainly in that discussion as Dave Lee picks up an ace, but I don't think they're the #1 team. I think they're trying to hang on to the excellence that has been a decade of Brazilian volleyball, but they are not at the same level they were 5 years ago.
David Lee, a lollipop that handcuffs Murillo, and the Americans lead 7-5. Would they serve him again? You betcha.
That's David Lee's favorite serve. If he can drive the ball low, wrist away into that 4-5 area, that's his serve.
Good pass, Bruno, back set, and down the line. Doug! Out of bounds. Good effort by Lee.
I don't know if you picked up David Lee saying, darn it, in the middle of that rally. He serves the ball, and it fades to the middle where he does not want it. He wants it going into that area 4-5 and lets it get away from him and allows Brazil to run their offense.
It's always a plus when the big men dig in the back line. Now Brazil. Lots of jump serving going on. Lucarelli, that's trouble. And the put away there. Over the net, Christensen, who is 6'6", could not reach it. And the score tied up at 7-all. Good look at John Sproul. Also coaches UCLA collegiately in his spare time. Played his college ball at UCLA.
I think UCLA says that he coaches the national team in his spare time. I think that's how they view it.
Anderson puts it away. The United States leads the World League final 2-1 and 8-7 here in the fourth.
It's KFC night.
Last week we hosted.
This week the kids invited us to their place.
We got this delicious KFC meal and 2 extra sides for free. For free. Sorry I was late. I had a little trouble with the rope ladder.
He fell twice.
Great rates for great rides. Geico Motorcycle. See how much you could save.
I'm a painter, and Scotch Blue is my tape.
I am a painter, and Scotch Blue is my tape.
Pro painters count on Scotch Blue. Now with advanced Edge-Lock paint line protector for even sharper paint lines.
I am a painter, and Scotch Blue is my tape.
Scotch Blue Painter's Tape.
No. Ooh, and I pick you. I'll name you Cornelius Pumperdinkle.
Only 1 in 100 are lucky enough to become America's favorite nut.
Every footballer at every club, every hero we know and love, every dodgy offside call, every genius on the ball, every bloke who takes a spill, every lovely bit of skill. Every thrill supporters seek in the Premier League every week.
Florence, Italy, the Nelson Mandela Forum. The Italian fans have gotten to see a lot of great volleyball, especially here in the final. United States and Brazil, the Americans up 2-1. They need to win this set, and they are World League champions. Brazil trying to hang in as that ball is hit off the top of the block out of bounds. Good play.
Hanging in are the Italian fans who watched their team take a second consecutive bronze medal earlier against Iran, but they've stuck around everyone to see this matchup between world number 1 and world number 5. Really, volleyball in Italy has come back. It's always been a big sport, but 10 years ago the numbers were waning a bit. This year, attendance-wise, it has been huge. Matches selling out in under 30 minutes when the tickets become available. They ran an outdoor event this year, indoor volleyball, outside open-air stadium. 14,000 people showed up, 9,000 people. Unbelievable, the level of volleyball fandom in Italy.
Eder getting the big block, and Brazil 9-8. And chopping. Good play there. Mwanga Tudia. He's from Oceanside, California. 6'5" outside hitter who replaced Sean Rooney.
Played his collegiate ball at UCLA for Al Skates, who those who've been watching have caught him in the background there. Al Skates working with the team on this trip.
Called the consultant coach.
One of a variety of consultant coaches brought in by John Spraw throughout. A lot of Bruins on that list. We've seen Mike Seeley, we've seen Eric Sullivan, former national team members.
And Bruno trying to go on two. The little fella hits it out. So make it 10-9 United States. This is a bad error there.
I like the aggression. Obviously the result not good, hitting the ball out, but I don't mind the aggression from the center spot.
Garrett Mwanga-Tudia. Ready to crank one here. That's long. The United States won the first set in extra time, 31-29. Brazil rallied in set number 2, 25-21. The Americans in set 3, 25-20. This is set number 4. The United States wins it. Ooh, that was close. Now, Bruno has it. 10-10. Right side. Great dig, Bruno. Set right. Wallace didn't get off the net. Americans are there. Wallace tried again. And he's off the block. Out of bounds. Beautiful play by Wallace.
Yeah, he's under this ball, but a creative shot. He goes with more of an upward arm swing instead of a head. He comes up and just taps it off the edge. Wonderful control.
So there is Bruno Rezende, counting on his frontliners to block a couple here. Good pass. Into the middle. Holt out of bounds. So Brazil goes up by 2.
If I'm John Spraw, I would think about a timeout if the U.S. gives up one more point here. I like this going to Max Holt. You get a view there of how high Max Holt touches. He's up around 12 feet.
Bruno, try it again. Goes line this time. Pretty good dig. Bruno backpedaling. Bad set off the net. Brazilians have to keep it in play. Left side, Sander! And it's popped up. Bruno left to Murillo, who is rejected. Christensen gets this stuff and bears his fangs.
U.S. block has been streaky throughout this tournament at times. Max Holt did a good job closing that time. But Micah Christensen, one of his assets is the ability to block straight over. Very disciplined blocker.
Max Holt off the top of the tape, had some heat. Pretty good dig. One hand block, it's off Sander, out of bounds. Murillo gets the kill. Brazil has had a history of great offensive attackers, Kevin Barnett. You played against many of them. Everybody on Brazil can wrap it.
Yeah, Murillo is in the mold of Jiba. A little bit smaller, quite strong, very fast to either side, and a lot of control at the point of impact.
13-11, 2-point lead. Lee is dug. Brazil could go up by 3 here. And they do. Wallace shoving it into the American block and out of bounds.
If I'm John Spraw, I'm going timeout. The momentum is swinging Brazil's way just a little bit. I'm not worried if I'm John, but I just want to break it up a little bit.
Timeout, and we'll be back.
The Chevy Summer Drive. Get 0% financing for 72 months plus a total value of $4,000 on this 2014 Silverado All-Star Edition and no monthly payments until the end of summer. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Roses are red. Swimming pools are blue. Champagne is sweet. This weekend away was long overdue. Breakfast in bed for just me and you. At the spa we'll meet. How about a massage for 2?
Be a weekender and reconnect at hotels like Conrad and Hilton. Book now at HiltonWeekends.com.
Rated RP10.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It will beat you to your knees if you let it. Nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Xbox One, now starting at $399.
Meat sticks? Yep. Nope. Uh-huh. Ha. Oh. Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Uh-huh. Snap into a party. Snap into a Slim Jim. Meat sticks? Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh. Yeah! Oh, yeah! Oh. Oh, yeah! Snap into a tummy party. Snap into a Slim Jim.
After a long day of doing man stuff, me and the fellas trust new Dial from Men Power Scrub to give us a clean we can be proud of. Over-engineered with unstoppable orange oil and micro scrubbers. Unstoppable! It leaves us honkingly gorgeous. Dial from Men, proudly over-engineered.
Grilled meats. Smells so good.
Burger.
What's happening over there?
Corn!
Oh, yeah, that's the X4 Platinum, the world's most social grill.
Social grill?
Did he just take a selfie?
Oh, yeah.
Send photo.
Watch, she's gonna light it with an app.
Gas.
Kebab, 1 serving.
Get off your gas and grill with Kingsford Charcoal.
Dig in. Because after a few icy seconds, you'll discover the light beer brewed for 21 days. And that's time well spent. When you want a real light beer, it's Miller time.
The first World League final ever between two volleyball powerhouses, the United States and Brazil. The United States leading the match 2-1. Here in set number 4, however, Brazil has the lead 14-12. And Chris Marlowe, a two-time Olympian, Kevin Barnett. What's been the story here in set number 4?
Two teams going at it once again. This looks similar to set number 1. High level of play from both squads. Brazil, similar type thing where they've controlled it by 2 a lot, but unable to really put the Americans down and extend that lead. Brazil in years past, I think they could extend. They get up by 2, and then all of a sudden they'd be up by 6 and really put it in cruise control. The Americans have not allowed Brazil to do that. They have not given them that comfort.
The United States with an impressive block. David Lee assisted by Matt Anderson. Here's Lee, the bulwark of the front line for the Americans. Now Micah Christensen, only collegiate on this USA roster at the moment. Set left, cross court, that is out of bounds, and the Americans have tied it up at 14.
So moments ago, a 3-point lead for Brazil. Now the U.S. side, as they've done a couple of times, the block has brought them back. Go back to set number 1. Huge one-handed stuff, one from each middle, ended that particular set in favor of the United States. Here, they block. Now they get a Brazilian error, and it's tied once again. They will not go away.
Micah Christensen, the setter, again, and he hits it out. Now Christensen, he looks like the heir apparent to Loy Ball. Americans have been looking for another setter to replace Loy, who went to 4 Olympics. And it looks like they've got a keeper.
He's not the only guy in the conversation. James Shaw from Stanford, a year younger, son of Don Shaw, volleyball legend in his own right. He is also in the conversation. Kavika Shoji, the backup throughout this World League, who's been on every trip, has come in and played admirably. He of Stanford National Championship fame as well. It is a crowded position, the setter spot. I expect those 3 guys to push each other to higher heights throughout the next couple of years.
Great.
That's going to be good for this team.
Certainly great depth for the Americans at that position now. How quickly things change.
Yeah, that hasn't been seen. That amount of depth has not been present in the U.S. program for a better part of a decade.
Into the net, and the Americans retake the lead at 16-15. It's nervous time for the Brazilians at the technical timeout. Americans lead this match 2-1 and are just 9 points away from the gold medal.
Thought I told you to stay off our turf.
And what would you know about turf, Skipper?
Let's end this here and now. Let's dance.
Whoa there! Progressive covers boats and RVs, okay? Plenty of policies to go around.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm the bad guy.
You threw a fish at us, so...
Yeah.
Coverage for land and sea. Now that's Progressive.
With 4 races left in the championship, Indy rivals will battle for every point. But Mid-Ohio's elevation changes and terrain could change everything. Honda Indy 200 at Mid-Ohio. Sunday, 3 Eastern on NBC.
Think of all the things you do online. Streaming, downloading, sharing, gaming. Then consider that the typical household has at least 6 connected devices, often in use at the same time. To make sure you're getting the fastest speeds and best in-home Wi-Fi experience, you need the right modem. Cox provides the latest DOCSIS 3 modem technology to help you get the most out of your internet. Learn how with the Cox Discover More video series at cox.com/learn.
There's a good old boy in your neighborhood, and his name is Good Old Tom. If you need cash and you need it fast, there's no one better around. Bring him gold jewelry, bring him old coins, bring him your collectibles too. Good old Tom wants to buy all these things, and he'll pay good money to you. So if you got things that you need to sell, then to Good Old Tom's you should go. 'Cause when you need cash and you need it fast, Tom's the best good old boy to know.
Bring in your old items to Good Old Tom today.
Stop throwing your money away on disposable air filters. One K&N washable air filter can last the life of your car. Install one in 5 minutes. Better value and better for the environment. K&N, available where auto parts are sold.
What's your vet IQ? Do you know why vets recommend Minties? Because Minties helps clean teeth, freshen breath, and control plaque and tartar for a fraction of the cost of Greenies. Now that's a good trick. High quality without the high cost. That's Vet IQ Smart.
Of USA ringing through the Nelson Mandela Forum here in Florence, Italy. The Americans lead the Brazilians 2-1 in this 2014 World League Final. Chris Marlowe, Kevin Barnett on hand as Brazil gets a kill on the left. What a match this has been. It started with an epic first set. The Americans won it 31-29.
This has been everything you want in a final. You don't want to blow out 3-0. Epic first set with that deuce set, 31-29, then back and forth, each team trading the momentum. And now this fourth set has looked much like that first, where no team can really get beyond the 2-point mark. Brazil did briefly. The United States brought it right back.
Rafael will serve. He's in as the double sub. He'll serve it. Big man in the front line. Micah Christensen. And it's dug up on the attack. Rafael back set. Timing wasn't there. Brazilians slap it over, and it's out of bounds.
Brazil loves the double sub. One problem with it is you bring in a cold guy. There's no way to really be warm. Bernardinho's team is stuck in a box down there, and that's Visotto taking that swing. That's not as high as he can hit it. Good job by Mwanga Tuti to reach and control that, but Visotto is cold. You're essentially bringing in a cold sub.
Now David Lee will serve it for the United States. Rafael sets right. And a rocket shot out of bounds, no touch detected. I hate the double sub, by the way. You take out your best setter, he's cold, the chemistry not there, the connection not there, and now they're going to have to switch it if the Americans get another point. Lee with the serve. Americans by 2. And straight down the hatch. Nice shot by Visotto.
Couple of plays later, all of a sudden the legs are warm. Get an in-rhythm attack. That's a little bit better for Leandro Visotto.
The winning team in World League Volleyball pockets $1 million for the coaches, the players, the organization. So this is a biggie. United States up 2-1, closing in slowly but surely. And the Sandman puts one to sleep for the United States. Taylor Sander with the kill.
Like Micah Christensen getting back to attacking the middle part of the court, whether it be middle attackers up front or that big attack. Bring it back. Bring it back now. It has been effective, and start to play with those Brazilian middles, start to make them stay. Then you can go back to the outside to Matt Anderson and to the other front row outside hitter.
Anderson and the Americans a 2-point lead. Rafael still in setting. Doug, joust at the net coming. Lift on the United States. Good call. So Brazil gets a break there. John Sparrow matching wits with Bernardinho. Bernardinho's sweating this one out, isn't he?
I don't think Bernardinho's looked at John Sparrow at all. He's in his own world. I wanted the Bernie cam. That's what I want. Just the Bernie cam. Right on Bernardinho, a separate feed you can have. Just watch him.
Beautiful block by one of the shorter players for Brazil, Murillo, showing you can get it done if you're 6'2½".
Just a nice reaction. Christensen's going to have to be a little stronger with that one. I think in college he's going to tap that over a smallish outside hitter. Murillo, he may be short, but he is just as dynamic as they come.
Sadal with the serve. We're tied at 19. Brazil could go ahead right here. Rafael back set. Yes. Visoto. So the Americans have given up 3 in a row now. And you hear the horn.
Love this timeout. I like the preemptive use of a timeout by John Spraw. He has done this. He can recompose his team. They're down by 1. But if they come back, just 6 points from their second World League title.
You guys coming to my barbecue? Steve's BBQ.
Yeah. Is this right?
Oh, hey, guys.
Subway is bringing big barbecue flavor with the Applewood pulled pork, slow cooked to tender perfection. Subway, eat fresh.
I'm a painter, and Scotch Blue is my tape.
I'm a painter, and Scotch Blue is my tape.
Pro painters count on Scotch Blue. Now with advanced Edge-Lock paint line protector for even sharper paint lines.
I am a painter, and Scotch Blue is my tape.
Scotch Blue Painter's Tape.
This is the year you spend more quality time with your dog. And this is the best time for big savings at Bass Pro Shop's Fall Hunting Classic. Check out our free hunting university this weekend, plus all the latest gear at the season's lowest prices.
He's trained canaries in the art of falconry. He is the most interesting man in the world.
Stay thirsty, my friends. Hot Pocket sandwiches have the protein and fuel to fire you up.
Hot Pockets got protein to please, 'cause everybody's got my hot ham and cheese. Hey, pinata, I got energy from my Hot Pockets, my Hot Pockets.
With the protein of premium hickory ham and 100% real cheese, it's food that fires you up.
Hot Pockets, my Hot Pockets.
Nestle, good food, good life.
This summer on NBCSN, the Sharks are on the hook, and there's money on the line.
What's the move, baby? That's how you do it.
It's the season premiere of Shark Hunters, Wednesday starting at 9 on NBCSN.
Welcome back inside the Nelson Mandela Forum here in Florence, Italy. World League final between Brazil and the United States. The Americans leading 2-1. As the set goes to Anderson, and he ties it up at 20. Remember, this set played to 25, win by 2.
Watch the footwork from Anderson here. You're going to have to rewind on your DVR because he passes short, steps back, 2 big steps, and hits the ball hard out of the back row. Beautiful play by an experienced attacker. That's where his outside hitter training comes in.
Garrett Mwangatudia, former UCLA star, with a pretty good rip. Inside, ball dug. Holt off the top. Rafael still in there. Sets left. Murillo. Nice pass. Shoji on the money. And Holt puts it away. So the United States, you can feel it. They're getting closer. The adrenaline's starting to course.
The all-around performance is Shoji key. Right there, perfectly handled, but the play before standing in. Eric Shoji making it happen from the libero spot.
Mwangatudia to serve again. He has been steady. Had a couple of passing issues, but has come back strong. Ace! The trickler from Mwangatudia. And the Americans go up by 2.
That's the right time for that one.
So the United States now Just 3 points away from victory. Tudia again, and he's into the net. So the Brazilians climb to within one. Visoto and Rafael go out. Bruno and Wallace back in. Boy, there's a long time for the top Brazilian setter right there, Bruno, to be out of the game. Can he turn things around for the Brazilians? Down by one. Pass is bad. Set left. Sander glides one into the center of the court. Taylor Sander, the shot of a veteran.
The confidence to do it at this point in the match, the vision to know that it was there, simply amazing.
The United States needs 2 for the gold. Holt guides it wide.
I like the idea. Poor execution for the second time, but I like the idea of trying to roll it to that spot on the line in that moment.
So now the Brazilians with Murillo. He'll serve it. Big front line. Holt sits. Eric Shoji back in as the libero. Great pass. Christensen back set. Anderson is dug. Kept in play by the Brazilians. Christensen. Sander takes a rip. Left side, it's Ruth. Wallace got stuffed. David Lee, one of the Americans there.
The American opponents have seen this movie before. Huge moment, and Dave Lee showing up. He gets an assist here from Christensen, but look at Lee with that hand. On second look, that's all Lee reaching in and getting control. Back to 2008 for Dave Lee.
It is championship point for the Americans at 24-22. Micah Christensen, the youngster, rips it out of bounds. So Brazil, a much-needed point. The United States is going to have another chance, however, right here. Their second championship point. Eder will serve it. Passes off, set left, Anderson! Got it! And the Americans have upset Brazil for the World League title.
Brazil stunned again in a final and stunned again by the Americans in a championship circumstance. And for this young American side, an incredible tournament, an amazing confidence builder in just the second year of this Olympic cycle.
Congratulations to head coach John Speraw, assistants Matt Furbringer, Mike Wall, and consultant coach Al Skates. The United States has pulled off a shocker. They win the 2014 World League. For Kevin Barnett, I'm Chris Marlowe. So long.
This week, record high temperatures in Southern California. That heat wave has ended. Much cooler today in Long Beach. It is the final afternoon of beach volleyball's grandest event. Champions will be crowned. Who will get the gold? Welcome you to the ASICS World Series of Beach Volleyball on NBC. Stadium court jam-packed. We are ready to rock and roll. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Chris Marlowe. You know, when it comes to rivalries in beach volleyball, Brazil and the United States is absolutely the best. That's what we have for you today in our gold medal matchup. Both Brazil and the United States advance